Number 22. Darwish Muhammad. It is not my part, if trials come my way, to turn away from them, nor, if I am flooded with joy, to abandon myself to it. For I am not of those who, for the loss of one thing, are consoled by another. I wish nothing less than the all. Abdul Qadir Jilani. Darwish Muhammad as-Samarkandi was the arch-intercessor of the famous saints and the blessing of the scholars of Islam. He was the dawn and the light of both the East and the West. He was the master of the kingdom of guidance. He grew up in the house of his uncle, who taught him the best manners, educated him in spiritual and religious knowledge, and nursed him from the fount of morality and ethics. He quenched his thirst with the heavenly realities and unseen knowledge, until his heart became a house of inspiration, as God said in the holy tradition, "Neither my heaven nor my earth could contain me, but the heart of my believing servant contains me." He was known in his time as Darwish Wali. He grasped all kinds of understanding of the religion. He was able to undo the misguidance of many of the false teachers of his time. He revived languishing hearts. He mended broken hearts, until he became the blessing of his time and the human essence of guidance. He had many followers throughout the country. His house and his mosque were filled with visitors asking and seeking his guidance. Once, after a gathering, Shaykh Muhammad az-Zahid told him to go up a certain hill at some distance and wait for him there. The Shaykh told him he would be coming later. Darwish Muhammad obediently went as his Shaykh had instructed. His conduct was perfect. He went and waited for the Shaykh to come, without using his mind to ask, "How shall I go there? What shall I do when I get there?" and so forth. He moved immediately. Time for the afternoon prayer came, and the Shaykh did not show up. Then the time for the evening prayer came and went. His ego told him, "Your Shaykh is not coming. You have to go back. Maybe the Shaykh forgot." His true self, however, told him, "O Darwish Muhammad, believe in your Shaykh. Believe that he is certainly coming, as he said. You have to wait." How was Darwish Muhammad's heart to believe his ego when his heart was being lifted into the presence of his Shaykh? He braced himself and waited. Night came, and it was very cold on the hill. He spent all night awake. His only source of warmth was his dhikr of La ilaha illallah. Dawn came, and the Shaykh had still not come. He was hungry and started looking for something to eat. He found some fruit trees, ate, and continued to wait for the Shaykh. The day went, and then the next day. He was again in confrontation with his ego, but he kept thinking, "If my Shaykh is a real Shaykh, he knows what he is doing." A week went, and then a month. The Shaykh did not come. The only distraction Darwish Muhammad had from waiting was dhikr Allah and his daily prayers, which were his only other activity. He continued until the power of his dhikr made the animals come and sit around him to make dhikr with him. He realized that this miraculous power had come to him from his Shaykh. Winter came, and the Shaykh still did not come. It began to snow. It was extremely cold. There was no more food. He began to cut the bark of the trees and feed himself on the moisture inside. He ate from roots and whatever green leaves he could find. Deer came to him. He began to milk the ewes. This was another miracle which appeared to him. He was lifted to higher and higher spiritual levels. His teacher sent him spiritual knowledge through these miracles and visions. Khidr appeared to him and taught him. A year passed, and then another, and then a third, and then a fourth year. The Shaykh did not come. Darwish Muhammad was in a complete state of patience. He kept thinking, "My Shaykh knows." At the end of the 7th year, he began to smell the fragrance of his Shaykh filling all the space around him. He ran to meet the Shaykh. All the wild animals trailed behind him. He was completely covered with hair. Shaykh Muhammad az-Zahid arrived. When Darwish Muhammad saw him, he felt intense joy in his heart and an immense love for his Shaykh. He ran to him and kissed his Shaykh's hands and cried out, "Assalamu alaikum, O my Shaykh! How I love you, O my Shaykh!" His Shaykh said, "What are you doing here? Why didn't you come down?" He said, "O my Shaykh, you said to come here and wait for you, so I waited for you." The Shaykh said, "What if I had died, or perhaps I forgot?" Darwish Muhammad said, "O my Shaykh, how are you going to forget when you are the representative of the Prophet?" He said, "What if something had happened to me?" Darwish Muhammad said, "O my Shaykh, if I had not stayed here and waited for you and obeyed, you would never come to me by permission of the Prophet." Darwish Muhammad had detected in his heart that his Shaykh was coming by the order of the Prophet. The Shaykh laughed and said, "Come with me." At that moment he poured into him the secret and the power of this golden chain of the Naqshabandi order that he had in his heart. He then ordered him to be the Shaykh of the disciples. Darwish Muhammad remained in his Shaykh's service until Shaykh Muhammad az-Zahid passed away. Darwish Muhammad died on the 19th of Muharram, 970 Hijrah, 1562 current era. He passed the secret of the order to his son, Muhammad Khwaja al-Amkanaki.